You don't have to be here.
But I'd like to pretend you'd visit me if I were in the hospital.
You brought daisies.
They're your favorite.
No, they're my least favorite. I was stung in the face 6 times, but...
What's wrong?
My heart.
Fast wide complex rhythm. Get the panels.
Her heart problems started when Nadia saw her sister. Stress-induced arrhythmia could be caused by long QT syndrome.
Her sister was barely in the room 5 minutes.
She said they've been estranged for over 6 years. It's a lot of tension.
Run a stress test to confirm long QT.
It'll have to be drug-induced. Treadmill will pull the stitches.
Drugs are never the answer. We want her heart to go crazy. There's something simpler and safer. Who's the sister?
You haven't seen each other in a while, huh? I heard the story about the time you hit Nadia with the car. It must have been pretty scary.
Why would you tell them that?
They asked about broken bones.
I swear that I checked my mirror.
You know that's a lie. You knew I was getting the mail and you just didn't care enough to check. Just like you didn't care that you ruined my 23rd birthday.
Nadia, don't start.
You started by coming here acting like you give a crap.
Here we go again. I'm such a monster because I brought daisies.
You need to leave right now.
What, is she gonna be okay?
Elena, get out!
Tell Nadia she doesn't need to worry about seeing me again.
I started the fight. We needed her heart rate to rise, so I provoked you.
You can't play with people like that.
Maybe if I explain to Nadia...
No, it doesn't matter. It's just one more fight for her to remember.
I guess you're both bitches.
Smell her breath. Breathe out.
Pneumonia.
What is it?
I think your kidneys are shutting down. I didn't mean to make you hate her. And now that her kidneys have failed, I've always been a book and equations person. People are problematic and random and messy. And with sisters, I mean, I had a cousin who I was close to, and when our menstrual cycles synced, it was like gladiator school.
Do you want me to donate a kidney to my sister?
Yes.
Okay.
Really? It might not fix your relationship. Probably shouldn't have said that.
We found a donor. It's your sister. Just thought you should know.
Thank you for saving my life.
I love you, you know.
I was thinking about those times we went up to Spofford Lake in the summer. Whenever we took out the canoe, you'd tie up my life vest for me. In the afternoons, sneak me into the lodge so we could steal popsicles.
Maybe we could go back. I could drive us up there, we could get a cabin, and maybe rent a canoe. Oh, wow, I haven't thought of Spofford. And Nadia, you okay?
Elena, I'm sorry. I can't do this.
Can you stop? Just stop pushing me for a minute.
I understand now why you stuck yourself in that diner with friends, with family. You can't forgive anyone. I don't think you weigh anything. I think you're like a lot of people. You focus on the bad memories instead of the good.
I don't have a choice.
Nadia, put your hand in your lap for a moment.
I'm not doing that.
I know. It's an involuntary movement called chorea.
What does it mean?
It means you still don't know what's wrong with you.
Come on. The woman has all the information we need. She's a bottomless diagnostic library.
Maybe we're missing something from the apartment. Some lifestyle thing.
Yeah, it's all muscle strain from doing her hundreds of jigsaw puzzles. We should do another MRI, a brain hemorrhage.
Hey. How many puzzles?
Okay, I was exaggerating. Dozens?
Do a peripheral blood smear. Look for acanthocytes. I'll be right in. Remember me? Just kidding. So, jigsaw puzzles.
I find them calming.
You ever left one unfinished?
No, that would drive me crazy.
Speaking of,
Why are you doing that?
more important question is, why are you?
It's just a habit.
It's a habit that compels you in an obsessive way. It's so bad, it's a disorder.
I don't have OCD.
Each brain with OCD has its own way of filtering it. Some people wash their hands and hoard TV guides. You do puzzles and hoard memories.
To what we thought was a gift. It's just you literally obsessing over your own life.
That's why I can't stop the memories even when I try. But everything else, my kidneys.
Memory was a symptom of a larger disease. You have McLeod syndrome. It's a rare genetic disorder that affects the nervous system, blood, and can cause OCD.
Am I gonna die?
It can't be cured, but your various symptoms can be managed with medication. Best case scenario, you can live another 20 years.
If it's any solace, everybody dies alone. Probably isn't.
You said you didn't have a choice to be the way you are. Now you do. These are SSRIs. They've been effective in treating OCD.
You mean lose my memory?
Not lose it entirely. It'll just become more like anyone else's.
My memory is the only thing that has ever made me special.
Maybe so. But if you want to be special, you're gonna have to be alone.
How to fight loneliness? Smile all the time. Shine your teeth till meaningless.
Okay, you and Chase go check out the park where they found him. You two load him up with prednisone, give him an odor ID test. He's still mistaking his body odors for candy. Problem's definitely in his brain. Also, find out what else he's lying about. Since I'm assuming Ferris Bueller is not his real name.
Why?
Seriously, who is that?
They say he's a righteous dude. Ferris tell you his real name yet?
Peter Johnson.
Danny Jennings.
I bought those books used.
All from the same guy?
I'm sorry, you know, I think I should check out now, and I should... Ow!
What's wrong?
Oh, my stomach.
Gastrointestinal bleeding. You were bleeding because you had 13 pieces of bone in your digestive tract.
We think you have pica, a craving for non-food items that's caused by a chemical imbalance.
I didn't crave them. I kind of volunteered to eat them.
What? Why?
There's this great Italian restaurant I like to frequent. And by restaurant, I mean their dumpster out back. And the cook is kind of a friend of mine. He challenges me to eat stuff. Sometimes it's raw squid or, I have to chew on a chicken bone. But if I do it, then he hooks me up with real food, not just the garbage.
Great friend.
These fragments could have perforated your colon and killed you.
You have to promise us you'll stop.
I think there's something wrong with my eyes.
What is it?
It's like I'm looking at you from the bottom of a well.
To run his DNA, he could have early onset of Parkinson's.
Or cortical-based ganglionic degeneration, or Huntington's, or any one of a dozen other genetic diseases.
Hey, if you let us out, we can start testing.
We're gonna test them all. It'll take weeks. I'm not canceling my honeymoon to treat this kid.
It's a fake marriage, but a real honeymoon?
Most are.
Then he could also die before we get through testing for all the possibilities.
So we cheat. Since it's genetic, daddy or mommy's got it too. Either sick or dead.
He doesn't know where his mother is, and he won't tell us where his father is.
He's a homeless ex-junkie. You tell me that you four geniuses can't outwit him?
Kid said he was in a state-sponsored rehab last November. There's only one Danny Jennings that was in treatment at the time, and he listed his father's address as his primary next of kin.
We're trying to make your son better.
Better? He died of a drug overdose. We buried him 3 months ago.
I'm not telling you my name.
No problem. I just need your father's name.
Forget it.
Care to tell me why?
He's looking for me. He supposedly cleaned up and got sober. And now he wants to be part of my life again. And I can't let that happen.
You're a big boy now. You still think he can hurt you?
You don't get it. If I ever see my dad again, I'll kill him. I've hurt people. And when I didn't die, I thought God forgave me. And he just wanted me to suffer. And I deserve it.
No. You don't deserve it.
I had a girlfriend in college. And I almost killed her. I just snapped. I started hitting her. And if her roommate hadn't come home, I'm evil. I'm just like my dad. We're both monsters that deserve to die.
Stop that man! I need the meal card for the patient in 243. He's eating healthy because he can. Most of the meals in here are vegetarian. Adult Refsum disease. Fits all the symptoms. His body can't process the phytanic acid and chlorophyll. It's his healthy diet of green vegetables that's killing him.
So if we change his diet...
Maybe save his life. Run him through a plasmapheresis treatment. Remove the excess phytanic acid from his blood. Confirm with gene testing.
Maybe when you get out of here, you can go talk to someone, a professional.
Yeah. Yeah, some of those places you suggested had people on staff. You know, I think God really does have a plan for me. And all this was just his way of testing my resolve. And I wouldn't have passed it without you.
What's going on?
Danny disappeared without checking out.
So you called the FBI?
I didn't call them, they just showed up. Danny's DNA. When we sent it to the lab for testing, it sent off alarm bells all over the country.
Alarm bells for what?
He's linked to 13 unsolved murders in 10 different states.
He's a serial killer who eats his victims.
And we saved him.
Our patient is Kendall Pearson, 16-year-old aspiring pirate.
She's a Canadian kid who's trying to be the youngest person to sail around the world.
She collapsed yesterday during a practice run. Luckily for us, cameras were there. Corporate sponsors want us to check that she's seaworthy before the clock strikes. You're too old to set a record. Gives us 3 days. You've still only got 1, right?
Last day as a student. Could be simple dehydration. She told the Coast Guard she had felt dizzy.
Pulse and BP were normal at the time of the rescue. It's not dehydration. What about your internship? You sign up this morning?
Actually, I'm still deciding. Maybe she had a seizure, and that's what caused her collapse.
Coast Guard report says no sign of head trauma.
What about her back? Look, right before the collapse, she hit the small of her back on the railing. Damaged adrenal glands caused adrenal insufficiencies, which caused the collapse.
Nice. Blood draws every 15 minutes for 4 hours. Let's track her cortisol. Masters, there's no hurry. There's no wrong choices. At least that's what they tell people who make crappy choices.
What's with the sudden interest in her future?
You know, a blacksmith who spends this much time hammering out a new blade from raw jello. It's curious about who ends up wielding it.
No reason to be curious unless you're interested in wielding it yourself. You want her to intern here.
And you're considering this?
Before I make my decision, I still have 1 more LP I need to get, so I'd like to go to the ER.
I'm glad you're gonna be sticking around after today.
Really? You want me to stay?
It's good to add a different perspective to the department. Someone who still remembers there are rules other than houses.
If I don't play by House's rules, he won't let me in.
Find a way around them.
I'd have to lie to him, which is still lying.
Lying about a lie, that's practically telling the truth. Catheters in, start the calcium channel blocker drip.
Means I need another LP.
Luckily, I know where you can get one. You good here? Let's go. Decent stick, very smooth.
Sounds like you've had a few of these. I suppose that comes with the territory.
I have Huntington's. No need to get hushed and solemn about it.
Why are you lying about rehab?
Because the real reason I was gone is not something I want to share.
Couldn't you just say that? Should be enough for Foreman and the others.
How long have you worked here? House's people have personalities that range from nosy to pardon me while I do this cavity search.
Do you think there's room for someone who does things differently?
No. Not unless House decides that's what he wants.
You got him to stop and give 13 an LP. 13 stiff gait, small pupils, and the raging headache she's hiding gave you away.
Yes. And I still broke a rule.
My rule. I told you to defy the man, not this man.
Why is it so wrong that I don't like to cheat?
Can we go?
No. Not liking it is fine. Not doing what you don't like makes you an 8-year-old. Wastes your potential.
You want me to be like you, it's not gonna happen.
That's the last thing I want, because then neither one of us would be exceptional.
You think I'm exceptional?
Not anymore.
I can do my job without compromising.
No, you can't. So I'm not gonna let you. Internship's gone. It's time for Masters to say goodbye. Enjoy being a surgeon. You'll be fine.
What's wrong?
Hypotension, low cardiac output. Float the swan.
Don't you have your own surgery?
I took a break. I told them I had to pee.
You lied. Small one, but it's a gateway lie.
I care about the patient.
Another lie. You care about being exceptional.
I told her dad I was gonna take care of her.
A third lie. Welcome to the slippery slope.
RA is 8, equalization of pressures.
And she has restrictive pericarditis.
Add that to a calcified pineal gland.
When is a calcified pineal gland not a calcified pineal gland? I realize technically it's never, but...
When it's a granuloma. It's Wegner's. We should start her on steroids.
But she had a high CK. Wigner's wouldn't explain that...
Dehydration does.
Yes, but the calcified pineal could be sarcoidosis.
You had me at I had to pee. But 13's right. Start her on 3-fold immunosuppressants. Masters, if you want to fight me on this, fill out a consult form so you can stick around. Welcome back.
I'm not back. I'll just be staying for this case.
You got really good at this lying thing.
Did you always know that sailing was it for you? That it was the right thing?
Didn't even start till I was 10. And at first, I was not a fan. Certainly there's plenty not to like about sailing.
But now that you're so into it...
Oh, no, there's still plenty of things I hate about it. I hate being wet. I hate being cold. I hate eating nothing but freeze-dried food.
That is quite the endorsement.
Sailing is amazing, but doesn't mean I love every second on the boat. Doing what you love means dealing with things you don't. If there were nothing to overcome, it might not be that... Ow!
You have lymphoid sarcoma, a cancer in the bone in your arm.
Am I going to be okay?
It's a treatable cancer, but part of that treatment involves amputating your arm. I'm sorry.
There's nothing else?
We can do chemo and radiation after the amputation.
I don't mean after. I mean instead of. If I leave soon, I still have time to break the record.
Honey, you can't be serious.
I feel fine. Last night, they thought it was an infection.
We know it's cancer. We ran the biopsy 3 times.
You don't know how fast...
Postponing the surgery could increase the likelihood that the cancer will spread.
Kendall, you need to think about what the doctor's saying.
I'm thinking about the sail. Like I have since I was 10. Don't take this away from me. It's just a month. I can take extra precautions. I'll Skype you every day, and I can fly back if something goes wrong.
She'll be risking her life.
I think we need to discuss this as a family.
You're considering this? Your daughter's condition.
Thank you, Dr. Masters.
Ready cardiac arrest.
3rd-degree heart block.
Likely paraneoplastic syndrome. Need to get into the OR for pacemaker and plasmapheresis.
What's going on?
Cancer is causing her heart to slow down. We have to get her to the OR and treat her. This is what I was worried about. If this had happened at sea, she would be dead.
Oh my God.
We need you to sign the consent form. Authorize us to amputate her arm. Push calcium chloride. It'll fix the heart block. Bradycardia was me.
You did this?
Parents signed the consent form. Amputate her arm.
You weren't supposed to do this. How could you?
Because we love you.
I hate you. I hate both of you.
Okay.